I just got free time today, so I more or less just recording a little early today. So if who knows, I might actually post this early, or I'll just keep on my schedule. As I explained this in the previous episode, that has that transformer in it. So yeah, also look at that video so you can get more of an update on my own channel. Also, today is when I got 11 subscribers. So I got at least 3, never mind, my math is terrible, 2 subscribers overnight. So thank you for ever joined the What If Boys. Yes, that is how you pronounce it. It's not What If Boy, it's What If Boy. Yeah, my brother made that comment so many times to me. Now I just can't get it out of my head. I was just going to call it What If Boy, but now it's called What If Boy. So I might have to change that YouTube name for it, add a little bit to it. Though, I digress, and let's get into the story. Now, some things are going to be put into place like Marvel. Though, the Avengers don't exist, so yes, Captain America does exist, though he is basically a fallen and died. Because in that crash, he did actually die. In the first Avengers movie, or the first Captain America movie, when he did hit Captain America, this is just for my own sake. And a lot of things actually go from the start. Yes, Captain America still became Captain America, everything like that. Bucky actually died, didn't get his arm become mechanical. And the war ended with Hail Hydra, or at least the Hydra failing, as you would see. And the actual body of Steve Rogers would actually be found and pronounced dead. Yes, Peggy would be very sad, though it is understandable. And which this doesn't per se tie into the story, it's just more of me giving some context and background, so it's easier to understand in the future stories. Though you used to have Hydra being a secret organization, hiding in the shadows, having even lesser resources, and not be able to do as much. And over the years, yes, they did experiment on people, and this is how a former Japanese from the, I'd say 20 years since the future of where Captain America did go into the ice, did get taken and was experimented on. His hair would still be, his hair would be looking like Bucky Barnes, at least in this picture. No, he is not Bucky Barnes, it just looks like him. Seeing as he's not as, he's still Japan, or he's still Japanese, it's just more or less, he doesn't have the green hair. Yeah, his father had brown hair, though his mother had green hair, like we all know Inko does. And he would more or less be experimented on, giving a cybernetic arm, at least getting his own arm cut off, and being cybernetic. And being mind controlled to do certain things. Like Bucky Barnes in the Marvel's movie. Like when T'Challa lost his father, when Tony Stark's parents died, and stuff like that. With him going on several missions at different points in time. Yes, they did find out how to cryo-freeze people, so he wouldn't as much age. Though, on one of his missions, in the, timeline of everyone has quirks and everything like that, he does know about quirks because he is informed about a lot of things. So he's, at least before he goes on a mission, he's up to date on history and seeing how smart he was, because he's that still smart person. Though he's not as much of a geek for quirks because, where he came from, he didn't have quirks. So, yeah. Though he's still a lethal killing machine. So, which is somewhat as portrayed as his quirk, you could think. Though it's just a mechanical arm that's made of actually vibranium. Because I know in the story it is actually made of a sort of titanium alloy, or aluminium. No, that's not strong metal. It's a very strong metal, but in this they actually told vibranium. It won't be as like Captain America's shield, or as, yes, it does have some shock absorption things, though it's just still the mechanical arm. Yes, it can still take a beating, though it's not as T'Challa's suit that can absorb. It's just a regular arm, as you saw, just a little more tougher. So yeah, though, on one of his missions, it was in broad daylight, and he had to kill a government official, which ended up going poorly. Everything went to mess, and yeah, people were, well, heroes were immediately called and stuff like that. The Hydra weren't thinking about the hero society anymore. They just wanted the well person dead because they didn't care if it was in broad daylight or at night. They could try to get leeway in this organization, as in Hydra, though failed because, well, he's just going to be, well, cryopotted if he does anything. Even if he did, well, more or less comment if they should do it at night, it wouldn't have mattered. With the actual All Might coming in and stopping it all, and more or less hitting Deku and more or less beating him up. Though he didn't go down lightly. Yes, this is at the certain point of, well, Deku, All Might is more or less injured with his wound, and All For One still hurted him, All For One is still blind, and his body is still hurt. Nothing has changed. Deku has just killed people, and that doesn't really tie into the story. So, yeah. And this actually takes further into the future, where the more or less Marvel Universe does happen, which is why everyone has quirks. Yes, they're still at the more or less same tech area, space and stuff, though it's a little more advanced than before in the Marvel Universe, because more or less they did have Tony Stark, though when he did more or less pass away from old age, or at least when he did, because he was a hero at some point, because he was actually one of the first quirkless heroes. So you will see sometimes a quirkless person be a hero, though it is more or less very rare, and yeah, they don't get too much publicity. So yeah, because people are stupid sometimes. So yeah, with more or less you have the All Might almost just, well, yeah, as I was saying, Deku didn't go down lightly. Him actually putting a good fight against All Might, shooting him slightly in the arms and legs, though All Might just powered through all this and sucker punched him in the face, knocking him through 3 buildings and rendering him unconscious. Because however you say that, his arm might be vibranium and he might be a total badass, which is even a Spartan, which I was just watching a Spartan series before this. Even that, they would be impressed about how Deku fights. Yeah. Even a Spartan would be actually very happy, because he does different martial arts and stuff like that. Though he does more or less old fighting styles, either lost in time or just old. So yeah. And when he does come to in a area, his arm is more or less the same way as you saw it when Captain America captured him, on a big, or at least it looks a little nicer, with a big piece of metal, and All Might just asking questions of who is he and what does he want. Deku actually, the mind control whenever he does more or less get unconscious, or at least when he's knocked the hell out, which he did, it kind of renders him out of his mind control state. Him asking where is he and what happened to him again. All Might wondering what. Deku just saying, last time I remember, I was in a cryopod. All Might saying, why are you lying, villain? Deku saying, what's a villain? I'm not a villain, sir. Him saying, yes, you did. You killed the government official and then we brought you in. Yes, he did kill the government official. And the Hydra agents are more like, what the hell? We need to get him back. Now everyone's just saying we can't. It draws too much suspicion. Deku just explaining that last time he remembers it was the 19s, and this is around the 2000 and 2225. I'm being very curious, or at least being very surprised, and asking, wait, do you have some sort of aging quirk? Deku saying, no, they put me in some sort of machine, and yes, this was also in Island. Also, the ship is not Melissa. It's someone else I have in mind. With also Mr. Shield, because he was surprised at the first robotic arm on someone. Yes, they tested it, but when he was unconscious, so they know it's not, well, a quirk. So he was demanded to be there to make sure nothing happens. Deku saying they and giving them a whatever I can remember. As in, they experimented on me and gave me they took my arm off and gave me this. And they messed up my head. All Might being very shocked and asking if they have some sort of mind control quirks. Deku was just saying no, they actually did it the old-fashioned way, breaking your mind and rebuilding it from the ground up. More or less having myself as two personalities. Whenever I do hear and seeing they are Russian still, whenever do I hear the Russian Bible, which is their more or less key, saying I can never go to Russia, and if I can't really go to Russia. All Might just saying, okay. Still not being believed, asking if he knows where they are. Deku saying no. The only thing, and Deku's not blinded. He's very smart when when he's in control. Which they do let him be out of my control, though they put him back into control whenever they do need him. So yeah, or take him out of control so they can just have the killer there, telling him they used me for several missions, saying the missions, and one of them being over 200 years old, when it was 2025, when the U.S. president was killed. All Might just saying, so they made you kill people for so long. Deku was saying, with him just saying, ow. All Might being, so shocked and hearing, are you okay? Are you okay? And yes, Deku's not that 13-year-old boy. He's around he's about 25. So yeah, because as soon as they were more or less done with him, they rendered him or at least they rendered him back into his actual body. Left him for 2 days to think, because yes, Hydra is a scumbags, though they need more or less the process to get set up so they don't kill him whenever they do cryo freeze him. So that's when he more or less had those days. Him saying the years that he has been to. All Might being shocked and asking, so who are these people? Deku was saying Hydra. You do have a police officer laughing at that. Just saying, Hydra kid. Those were people in the 19s. And they're all gone now. We want the Captain America from the past won against them. With Deku saying, no, Captain America did more or less save us all, though they're still out there, though they aren't as strong as before. And they're being very villainous and still not being still experimenting on people. All Might asking if, is he under their control still? Deku saying, I can be if they don't mind control me with their, whatever the Bible, the Russian Bible. Though other than that, no, I'm good. And for what it's worth, I'm sorry for whoever I killed. Yeah. The guy wasn't the person he did kill was a more or less asshole, so yeah, it's only just saying no. To be fair, he had very much suspicion going towards him. And if I had to suggest, he was more or less a loose end Hydra had to take care of. With Deku saying, oh. And still feeling bad, but not as oh, I just killed an asshole. Dad was doing illegal things. That helps, but I still feel bad. That kind of talk. And yeah, All Might just saying, though you do need to have some supervision and stuff like that. More or less being house arrested so they can make sure nothing has happened to him. And getting a couple psyche analysis. With what he did, tell them about his mental space being like a split personality whenever he does hear the Russian Bible, being confirmed by an actual quirk. Like there was a locked person inside there. That only comes out when a certain phrase is said. With yes, Deku was still conscious because it's a quirk, and yeah. Saying, told ya. With you do have also, seeing this is a more or less big thing now, the principle of you ate is there. And this is just saying, we believed you, just saying people have lied to other people before, and we just wanted to make sure. With that, Deku saying, I understand, and for what it's worth, yeah. And what's worth, Nezu, I'm sorry if I killed anyone. Nezu just saying, no, it's fine. Saying the same thing that All Might did say. And, well, there has been several occasions, though Nezu is more or less looking into the past now, or at least history-wise, or at least history crimes, where a person with a metal arm and a red star is killing people. Him finding several occasions in history. And yeah, everything does check out what Deku does say. So yeah. With Nezu bringing up the fact that he could be a hero, Deku's just stating, are you sure about that, Nezu? After all that I've done, are you sure I should be a hero? Nezu's just saying it's better than just moping around and, well, doing nothing with your life. You are basically a free person. I think you would more or less, how should I say? Because Deku has killed, yes, and he has accepted the fact, so he could kill himself, not just with his split personality. So yeah. Though once the League of Villains hear about the Winter Soldier, the most, well, lethal weapon out there that only needs to be heard by a Russian Bible, yeah. They're trying to get a Bible. Though, yes, he's not going to. So yeah. Yeah. Though when they do poop around and get a Russian Bible, well, you do have the other organization. What was it called again? I just forgot one of the most important organizations in the entire Marvel universe. Not the Red Skull. Hydra. Yes, Hydra. Yes, I'll make up I like how I can just forget the name Hydra like that. With Hydra going to the League of Villains and offering them a deal. Get their experiment back, and you will be, well, rewarded a heavy price. With yes, offer was towards All for One. All for One just, well, stating, we'll try, though no guarantees. The scientist just stating, alright, then no guarantees if you'll get money. All for One just saying, alright, and shaking the man's hand, and yeah, the deal's set. So, yeah. And this is the time around when it's the, not middle of the school year, where this is the start of the year. So, yes, it's more or less plot. Though I need to get this done. Though, yes, school has started with the UA. And Bakugo, it doesn't know Deku, so, yeah. Their whole history is, yeah, non-existent. So, yeah. With more or less Deku being pronounced alive, somehow, from everyone being shocked, and this was a television thing. And even the Hydra being more pissed off. Because, well, didn't per se escape, though he was captured and got his mind back, so he's explaining some things that at least what he knows. And it's not pleasant for Hydra at the moment. And them trying to be more secretive. Not even trying to kill people anymore. Just trying to survive like they did before. When Captain America did, well, take them all out at the beginning. So, yeah. And you do more or less have his first day. I would say this is the second week. Also, what is his weaponry and stuff like that? Well, it is going to be a... what is it called? If you saw him in the... I believe it was called the Civil War. How in the Winter Soldier, how in the beginning he had that rocket launcher AR. He's going to have that. He has to still have the rocket launcher. It's just more or less if you ever saw those mines in the sports festival, it's like that. It basically hurts like a bitch. Though it doesn't kill, it does slightly burn, though it's non-lethal explosions. And instead of bullets, it's rubber bullets. Actually, you know what? It's actual bullets. Though he's still not allowed to have a lot of bullets, so he understands that and he has to earn them. Because they're not going to give unlimited ammo to a guy that could just probably kill anyone in the entire UA. Except for All Might, because he got his bitch slapped handed to him. And when he does come in now we'll cut to the class. well, you do have Aizawa just saying we're getting a transfer student. Everyone being shocked, and Bakugo saying, oh, what quirk does he have? Him saying he's quirkless, though he's been experimented on, and he's over 325 years old. Him explaining the past of, some of the past of, well, Deku, them being terrified of him, and calling Izuku Midori in, which is a Japanese name. Them being, well, was he Japanese? Deku just coming in with the metal arm still, though wearing UA clothing, though it's not much, with his jacket on his back, or at least how he would have, like, him putting his coat on his shoulder, with the white shirt, red tie, pants, and some combat boots. Because he's military, and he's a veteran slightly in military, so he's more military looking. When you do have his more or less structure. Any girl that saw him, blushing. Also, how does he look like now, seeing he's not that, what he looks like in this picture? Think of his look as in, if you ever seen where I'm trying to find a good example. I believe it was, if you ever saw that scene where how Bucky was at the Wakandan temple, or let's say Wakandan area, and it was named the White Wolf in the movies. I forget which movie that is, or the last little cinematic scene. The cinematic scene at the end of the movie. I forget that's which one. I think that was the one before the Infinity War. I don't know. Or that could just have been the beginning of it. I'm not sure. Though he more or less has that curly hair now. Seeing he had more or less finally had some time to fix his look. So he's not that more or less loner looking person anymore. He actually was fixing himself for once. The girls seeing this, and yeah, they just blush. Yeah. It was like red light. Kind of like that. And now the guy's seeing how muscular he is. And yes, UA is a college, so yeah. One of the Bakugos seeing the metal arm and slightly being intimidated. Him just saying, oh, what are you going to do here, Quirkless? With Deku being slightly pissed off because he's named Quirkless and, yeah, equality and stuff like that. Deku going into Bakugo before he does say anything. And him just saying, do you want to know why I'm so old? Katsuki Bakugo. Him asking why. Did your mother try to gain a punch in the face and hit in a wall? I saw doing nothing because, well, yeah, what can he do at the moment? And plus, he just thinks Bakugo deserves that and he needs to get over saying his self. Ida still doing that hand motion. Oh, thank you for our commented. And anything with Ida doing his whole hand thing, just asking, as I was just saying, why is he doing anything? They were fighting. As I was explaining that Bakugo is very cocky, he needs to get over that. And that's no way for a hero to act. So, with Ida just saying, that's still, as I was doing his whole thing. Bakugo, when he comes out of that, it's a history lesson and a half with two black eyes. With everyone hearing what he said, want to know what I did? I was experimented on, punched in the face. I killed people under a mind control. When I was mind controlled, punching him in the face. Yeah, Deku is hitting him hard with the metal arm. So that's pleasant. Stating, they cut my arm off. Put a new one on. With Bakugo being passed out, with Aizawa just going to his shoulder, his non-metal shoulder, and just saying that's enough. Deku saying, alright. Yeah, with Bakugo waking up, he's like, what happened? Recovery just looking at him, just saying, oh, you fucked up, boy. You fucked up. and him more or less going back to class with a bandage over his one eye and yeah, it's when he does come back, everyone looks at Bakugo and just snickers. They're like, actually, no, that's terrible. Like, the girls just giggling, and yeah, Bakugo had some pride lost. With the Deku talking to some of the guys like Kirishima. Kirishima wanting some more backstory into Deku. Deku's just saying he was Japanese, so he was taken from his home. His father was a veteran, and yeah. Him more or less asking what happened to, with everyone is asking what's Hydra. Him just saying it's classified information that they can't find out unless they're a pro hero in the near future. Then you can tell they can ask questions about Hydra, how all they like. With them just being okay, we're gonna get high in the heroes and stuff like that. Not per se giving them more motivation, just being more or less wanting to do it because it's curious to see. Well, you have a 325-year-old guy that looks like in his 25s. That's going to a hero school. Yeah, there would be curious. In fact, even Momo's curious. Even Shoto, and Shoto doesn't even be impressed. Though from the backstory he did give Bakugo, yeah, he respects some and a half. So yeah. With you, also, I should explain more of his look for hero costume now. Yes, he's going to look like in this picture, just the fixed hair, and without that mouth mask, and without that red star. It's not going to be there, it's just more or less the silver metal arm. And he's not going to have that sniper in the background. He's going to have, I don't know, a 1911. I think I'm saying that right. Pistol. It's an old-fashioned pistol, and you can even see it in the Black Ops 3. I believe it's in there. So yeah. With some people wondering why he has an old-fashioned pistol. Deku just saying it's a pistol that his father taught him to use when he was very young. And trained him in. Because at that time they were still in war, so when he did get abducted. So but he did realize in the future about his whole past or the history of Hydra and all that, so he doesn't really care about it. Yes, he's sad his mother and father are dead. Though, yeah. Wow, he had a big generation skip. I just realized that. And I'm the narrator. So, yeah. Deku explaining more about his past, and All Might still coming in like, I'm coming in like a human being. With, yeah. Deku not being surprised or anything. Because he was informed of this because, well, they were more or less, we have to tell him stuff because he can be trustworthy. Because you don't think, well, a military person can't be trustworthy or has a very heavy military background and is killed in all of what the Winter Soldier does. Yeah. It's not. You can be trustworthy. You can say be trustworthy to at least know what they're going to do. With Deku just standing up and just saying, alright, where are your costumes, sir? All Might just saying, clicking the button. Him going on that whole rant of, to be a hero, you need to look apart. With them seeing the, well, costumes. These suitcases. With them all going to the changing room. Mineta seeing they all skip the whole thing. Mineta is still in there. Mineta just saying, hey guys, look, there's a peeping hole. Kirishima is still doing the whole thing that it's not manly and it's very disrespectful. But before that, you have a new ching would be a metal arm going on Mineta's head. And Mineta just saying, what the hell, dude? Deku pronouncing to punch him in the balls, or kick him in the balls. And letting him there, him just stating, it's not that nice to peek on girls. Where's your sense of man? So yeah. And for the rest of the day, Mineta is not walking properly. Yeah. Rip and chat, guys. And guys that are watching, rip and chat. And yeah, with I saw or All Might asking what happened to Mineta. All Might just saying, don't worry about All Might. It's a doing a thing that All Might should do. Him thinking it's a more or less, oh, something happened to the girls and Mineta, because he knows about Mineta's slight perversion, how he's a slight pervert. So he just thinks, oh, he's doing something. He did something perverted, and he got basically kicked in the balls. Because any guy can see, yeah, when you get kicked in the balls, it's very noticeable. So yeah. 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 Experience. Okay. Alright, that's enough about me. My past. So yeah. People do more see the guns on Deku and the slight equipment. Yes, he does have some frag grenades, though it's like a more or less combat look. Like he has two frag grenades, his pistol on his side, and his assault rifle on the back. Because he's in that scene, he has his costume. It's just a feature on it, like you have seen in the Civil War edition, or the Winter Soldier. He does have that little magnet pouch on his back, so he can't put guns there. With them seeing that, and some people think he's badass. With others like Ida saying he shouldn't have guns. It's very bad and not hero-like. Deku's saying I'd rather stick to what I'm good at than just start something brand new. Yeah, Ida and him are gonna have more or less conversations, and yeah. And with the whole hero thinks, instead of this is probably gonna just being laid out now for the ship. Instead of Uraraka, he is actually paired up with. I think you're all gonna think Momo Yarozu. Actually, no, Jiro. And Jiro looking how he has that old-fashioned kind of look to him, though kind of new escape. Like that old-fashioned look, though it's modernized, like an modernized old-fashioned style. Her thinking that's cool and more or less trying to ask him more questions. With Deku being dense like he is or not, and seeing Deku has talked to girls before, so he's not that, oh, hi, hey. Yeah, he's not like that. And after a little bit, it does start with Bakugo, being the cock itself, trying to grab, Deku. His name is still Midoriya, it's just more or less, I'm just saying Deku for my own sake, and we all understand who Deku is, so yeah. With him still grabbing Deku, and trying to push him and shove him around like a rag doll. Him failing misery being fist-cupped and rocket launched. Deku with him getting flown into a wall. Deku really loading his grenade launcher, or his mini grenade launcher, and does try to, and proceeds to beat the living shit out of Bakugo, with Jiro going to Ida, and more or less breaking the ground underneath them, which does proceed to, at least bring Ida to the lower levels where, Deku and Bakugo are. Ida falling and getting up and seeing how you do have a person coming up a staircase, and it's Bakugo, or at least it's the unconscious body of Bakugo, being drained by Deku. Deku cracking his neck and just saying, oh, lovely. Him just saying through the hole, just saying, thanks, Jiro. Jiro being blushing, just saying, yeah, sure thing. In a loud tone voice. And it's very obvious that she's blushing and has a crush. Even, Deku is not that dense. He's dense, but not that